was thinking, actually, that I said this week, this whole thing about when you meet three assholes, you're the asshole, and I've been an asshole like the whole of this week. I've been in a really funny frame of mind, and it made me think of this thing, like, my sister and I are really different, like, really different. Like, she's 8 years older than me. She's very sort of precise. Do you know what I mean? She's a scientist. So she likes facts. I don't care about facts. I care about life, right? She likes facts. And she's got dark hair and she's thin and nimble and her clothes always look ironed, even in her pyjamas. Do you know what I mean? I'm one of those people. And when we were little, I hoped that one day I would be like her, but I never thought that I would be. Because everything always worked for her, right? And I heard one time, I guess, when I must have been about 12 or something. And I heard her talking to my dad. Now, my dad was not a man who spoke very much. He mostly just said, "Aye," like that. Or periodically he'd say, "You're a Ferguson. Ferguson, stop eating noisily." Angry eyes. I heard him talking to my sister, and he was saying to her, she'd started this work in a lab. She was a scientist, my sister. She knew everything about science. And she'd started working in this lab, and I guess she was getting bullied because my dad was saying to her, you know, they are people, but they are not all people. They are just a group who are telling you that that's the way that the world thinks, but they're not. They're not the way the world thinks. If you look at them, you'll see like the noisiest one, the most aggressive one, they're the most stupid. And they're just being noisy because they're trying to pretend that they're not that stupid. The one to the side of the stupid one, he really is quite intelligent. So intelligent that he doesn't want you to notice him really up front in case the shit hits the fan. Then alongside him there's the guy that doesn't know why he's there, he just kind of wants to be part of a team. Then if you look alongside that one, then there's the one who's got some kind of mental illness. And they're either going to be really good in business or a psycho killer. And then you've got the other guy who sees everything that's happening here as a big campaign and that he's got God on his side. But actually the real fact of it is if you look at him, he's just really angry because his mother didn't give him enough attention, right? And he'd say to my sister, you know, bullying happens, that's what happens. But when bullying happens, you need to take it as a challenge, you know? You sit with the facts and not your feelings. And then he would say to you, he said this thing, which is he said, the Ferguson motto is dulcius ex asperis, which means sweeter after difficulty. You're a Ferguson, you are sweeter after difficulty, right? So then he'd do this thing. It's funny because I mean he didn't really talk apart from I, and occasionally he'd say a man is rich when they have eggs in the house. It was like random stuff, right? But he would have this stuff where people would come to the house for help. Do you know what I mean? They'd come to the house for help, and you would hear him going, "Well, you know, the noisy one, they're the stupid one. And they're just trying to hide it by being really loud. And the one beside, that's the one you got to watch because they're the smart one and they don't want caught out, right?" And so people would come to the house to meet my dad, to talk with my dad, and as they left, he'd shout, "Dulcius ex asperis, sweeter after difficulty. You're a Ferguson," right? So, I mean, he never did it with me. Because I was different from my sister. I was all about in arts and feelings and everything. But then in 2008, I came over here to work. I didn't actually want, no offence Americans, but I didn't want to come here. I was quite happy. I was quite happy. You have your own country and everything, but I had mine and I was quite happy. And then they offered me this job, right? And it was a lot of money and I thought about it and I was like, oh, you know, I've got kids and everything and my husband and makes sense, you know, you do it for the team and all that stuff. And when I walked into the building when I was working, the first day, there was this little assistant and she was so giggly, so pleased to see me. And she said, "I can't believe it, you're a woman." And I was like, "Yes, I am." And she said, "I am so excited, we've never had a woman here, never." Well, we did have one once. She started on a Monday morning and she left at lunchtime Tuesday crying. And I was like, okay. So I am in this country that I hadn't really planned to come to. All of my family are on my visa, so if I get sent out of this job, we all get sent home. And this girl has just told me they don't have women working in this job. So I am thinking, this is going to be a challenge. So I go into this office, and it's a sort of big long table full of kind of 30-year-old white men. That made me worried, right? And they were fine for the first day, but then they started a campaign. And I noticed that the stupidest one was really kind of noisy. And the one that sat beside him was smart, but never really get caught at anything. And then there was a guy who I thought might have wanted to help me, but couldn't, because he didn't really know why he was there. And then there was another guy who really probably would have been a psycho killer if he wasn't in entertainment. And then there was the one at the end whose mother evidently didn't give him enough attention, right? So I'm like, this is scary, man, because I cannot lose this job. But these fuckers hate me. I mean, they hate me. They hated me so much that when my mother died, it makes me so angry. My mother died, I flew back to Scotland for a funeral, and when I came back from the funeral, they spent a whole morning doing dead mother jokes on my And what I understood was that it was intentional. It was willful. And just when I thought I would lose it, I thought about how you're always rich when you have eggs. And I thought, you know, these people are not all people. These guys are white men, but they don't represent all white men. And they're Americans, but they're not all of America. So then I was like, my dad would say, you know, take this as a challenge. You know, sweeter after difficulty. Don't let your feelings, you know, cover up the facts. Because my dad had this thing that he'd say when he really had no respect for someone. As he said, the truth will always come out. And like, you can walk away from this, maybe a little bit sore, maybe a little bit wounded, but you'll still have your integrity. When they leave this, they will know every morning that they are them. So this week, I looked on Facebook, and there was an office, and there were 10 white men, and they were signing about Planned Parenthood. And I found myself feeling so sick and angry and full of fury that I thought the whole world had gone to shit. And then I was like, there's the really noisy stupid one. There's the one that's smart but doesn't want to be caught. There's the fucking psycho killer. There's the one that's lost, and if only his mother had given him more attention. And I thought to myself, you know, they're Americans. They're not all Americans. You know, they're men, but they're not all men. And I thought to myself, you know, sweeter after difficulty. I can wait. Thank you.